she's like, why are we praying this? It never works. Like, there's constant war all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. Like, keep praying.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Imagine where we would be if we weren't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I said. That's exactly what I said.
Yeah, well. So far then, do you like Taylor Swift or?
I actually genuinely think she has
Tell
6
us,
or 7 good songs.
Yeah.
The rest of her songs are just like a copy and pasted.
Man, welcome, Father Fadi, to the show.
Welcome, Abuna.
The audience didn't catch what you said
That's
before
good.
this. Yeah. But
What's
yeah.
up? Welcome.
Thank you. It's a joy.
Good to have you,
Welcome,
man.
Abuna.
It's really great to be here.
It's been a while for me. Tell me welcome.
You're not welcome here.
Are you
It's been a
serious
while.
right now?
Tell me
How long
welcome.
has it been?
Months.
Really?
I promise. Come on.
Really?
Could someone in the back please fact check? How long has it been since I've been on
Months?
an episode?
Months?
I think months.
It hasn't been long enough for me. How do I get that treatment?
I mean,
Wow, months, huh? Well, good to have you.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
Father Fadi, you've been ordained how many years?
13 years as of May 26th. I was ordained for the Archdiocese of St. Louis in Missouri, but I am a Chaldean priest. I was accommodated to the Roman Rite. And I asked Archbishop Brzezinski to release me to the service of the Chaldean Church, and he graciously did so for the next 3 to 5 years. So
35 years? No.
no.
3 to 5?
3 to 5.
5. Okay.
How do you like it so far?
Oh, it's been a dream.
Really?
It really
Nice.
it really has.
I love that.
No, I mean in the Chaldean liturgy and the language and the culture, there's there's kind of a hidden treasure that I don't think many people know about.
That's amazing.
Father Andy describes the liturgy, I think, in one of his books as ancient and pristine. And
nice.
there is something to that. It really gives you the sense of being in a patristic church in the early church. So it's ancient, but it's also very young because it hasn't undergone the development that the Roman Rite has undergone. So it really encapsulates the way that the early church used to pray. And I think it's particularly moving for me now because I think we're entering into a new patristic era in some respects. We're moving back into the early church when the Catholic Church isn't as institutional as it has been in the past, and Christians have to live their faith with a new fervor and ferocity, just like the early church did. So just the continual reference to the martyrs and to the love of the martyrs and to the shedding their blood for the life of Christ. It's very moving for me.
Have you seen a stark difference between community life in the Chaldean church and the Latin Rite church?
And so, I mean, I think what we experience in the Chaldean church as a matter of course is something like what the Roman Rite would have experienced in the age when the church was really the center of social life. So the High Middle Ages and onwards, I would say probably even until the 1950s, possibly. But once secularism kind of hit the West like a tidal wave, the experience I think that most priests have in serving the Roman Rite is that the church is religious services are simply things that you do on the side, and then you live your life in a secular way otherwise. But the Chaldean church, no, it's preserved something of the way that social life really needs to revolve around the church and around the liturgy. And our feasts are overflowing from the liturgy. And that's exactly how the early church lived. So to be able to experience it in real life is a very, very beautiful, comforting thing.
That's awesome.
Welcome.
Yeah.
That prioritization in our community is like, it has a lot of like consequences. One of them is that as you're saying, like we really connect with each other. I mean, how many people do we know that met their spouse at church?
Yeah.
You know, that's fairly kind of a rare thing.
You know what's really cool about that too? And you mentioned it, there's an overflow when there's a big feast and you just see everyone centered around, gathered around the liturgy. Yeah. The beauty of that also is, I think a lot of them, maybe they don't fully understand why they're there, but they know they have to be. There's something special about it. sometimes they feel like it's beyond them, or they have to learn a little more about it, but nevertheless they know on this day, this feast, I have to be there.
Yeah, the piece of Padre Pio on a daily mass.
Yeah.
You had 3 times the number of people
Yeah,
who
yeah.
normally show up. So
Yeah.
somebody's reading the calendar and is aware of these
Right.
things.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's a funny dynamic that you're noticing in the Chaldean church. It's got this sort of deep-rooted simplicity that's there, that somebody who's got a kind of a palate for it. We were talking about palates earlier before the show started. Somebody who's got a palate for it, who's got a taste for these things, is you're never going to find something like that's going to replace that. It's just a really beautiful, wow, rare thing. Whereas without that, if you're kind of starting from a different perspective and you're looking for big, shiny things, Chaldeans have a sense that, and I remember really witnessing this when I visited Iraq a number of years ago. They're living on top of historic treasures. Their villages are ancient, beautiful things. The churches that are near them, the liturgy, like you said, is this ancient, beautiful thing that people on the outside absolutely love and can't find anything else like it. Whereas the people that have it, Chaldeans that have it, don't even care about it.
Yeah.
It's
It's
a daily occurrence.
we'll have a saint or a feast day. We'll have Ba'utha of the Ninevites. We'll have some beautiful aspect of the liturgy in Holy Week or something special like that. And Chaldeans are like, yeah, whatever. And then you show up with Padre Pio or Saint Rita, and it's this kind of big shit. And again, nothing against them, but like,
Pray for
it's the end of the world. We just have to everything has to stop because of this Polish nun that lived 100 years ago. God bless them all. And they can all pray for us. Let them all pray for us. But we have things that are amazing too,
that properly belong to our
that
tradition.
are yours,
that we need
and
to
you don't even
appreciate,
care about what's yours.
yeah.
So there's a kind of self-hating aspect of some Chaldeans because they and this happens a lot in the clergy, including higher up clergy.
What do you mean?
They go from their sort of simple villages and they go to big cities in Europe, and they're just blinded by the big church that's colorful and pretty.
Yeah.
And they completely lose any respect for what they have. And that never leaves them. And their goal as a church, they think our goal as a church has to be to completely get rid of everything that's ours and replace it with this big shiny thing. And then when you do that, you lose everything that you noted at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
You lose all of that because you don't appreciate what you have.
If you go to a Chaldean liturgy and you cannot distinguish between that and a Roman Catholic church, then there's an issue, because then you don't have a difference anymore. You lose the sense of, like you were saying, a patristic sort of mentality of this thing is ancient, this is traditional, this is historical.
I think the most commonly noticed part of that is the feel that you get, because emotions are a big part of what we do, especially even in worship. And you go to a Chaldean church with sort of traditional hymns, music is a huge part of this. And you go and it feels a certain way, but it feels, the feeling of it is sort of subtle. Whereas you go to some other churches and the music is they're going to have a band and there's going to be even like a drummer or something like that. And it's going to be louder. And it's like feeling something much more intense.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of we were talking about food earlier. Like I've got like pacha at home, which is a very fantastic taste, but it's like a little more subtle. And I'm going to get rid of the pacha for like spicy wings.
Yeah.
Just because they taste more intense. And you're going to replace very ancient music that has a very deep feel to it.
and meaning.
And meaning to it, and you're going to replace it with something just because it's louder and makes you feel more intense things.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm not sure that the Chaldean church is alone in this experience that you're mentioning. I mean, in my experience with the Roman Rite, we have something very similar that is happening. We've had our liturgical troubles in the Roman Rite for several decades now, but the younger generations are discovering the ancient tradition or rediscovering the ancient tradition, and Gregorian chant, which has many correspondences with the way that we sing things in the Chaldean church. Beautiful course, but they're both very ancient. But Gregorian chant would be something very similar. It seems different from boring, even perhaps by comparison to secular music, but it has a sense of transcendence, and it has a sense of majesty, and it has a sense of peace that it instills in the soul. And I think young people are hungering for that in the noisy world more and more. And at least as an outsider, I'm seeing in my experience of the Chaldean church so far is that there is a lot of enthusiasm among young people.
Thank God
for our liturgy, and I find that very edifying.
Yeah, and it's ironic because their parents don't care about it at all.
No.
Yeah.
And they think it's old-fashioned stuff, and
Same thing with confession and the sacraments, by
Yeah.
the way. The parents don't care about it.
Yeah.
Children do.
Yeah.
The kids do.
I mean, I spent 13 years begging people to come to the sacrament of reconciliation, and when it works after a while once you keep preaching about it. But here, it's the greatest joy of my priesthood to be able to hear confessions as frequently as I do on these Sundays.
Yeah.
It's so wonderful.
I remember talking to
This
you.
FRP will keep you busy.
You want to hear confessions? So great. You came to the right place.
Yeah, I remember the first conversation we had when you came to do confessions at St. Michael's English Mass on Saturday.
Yeah.
You know, Saturday evening, there's like not a crazy amount of people at Mass, but the line was packed for confession.
Praise God. It's
And then
so good.
and then we spoke afterward. I think it was your first time
Like my
doing-
first day here.
yeah, like doing confessions at a Chaldean church, and you told me you were like, this is like culture shock. Remember that?
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, there's a real sense of sin, which is very good, because we can't begin to approach God and the graces that God gives unless we know our need. But then there's a real sense of hope also in the confessions that are being, and people are eager for just a word of advice, or there's a desire for growth. The Holy Spirit's doing something really wonderful in the young people here. I'm very edified.
Thank God for that.
I remember I was after I went to Rome a few months ago for the digital jubilee. I did a news interview about it, and the person asked me, like, the last question was, so we see all over that there's a decrease in church attendance, especially among young people. And I was like, not really with my church. And I explained it a little bit, and they didn't even keep that in the
Oh, really?
in the interview. Yeah.
Wow.
No.
Yeah, honestly, BBC.
Media bias, huh?
Actually, yeah. I said, I don't really see it, honestly, because in the Chaldean church, I explained a little bit about it. It was, fast response, and I explained
Packed
how
masses,
our
long
churches are
confession lines.
packed.
Our
Our
churches
confession
are full,
lines are packed. Youth groups are packed,
One of the things Father Dany noted a similar point to this a few minutes ago. When you offer them what is actually unique to the church, whether it's to the Chaldean church or to the church itself, this is what people are looking for. Father Fadi was even mentioning that earlier. This is what people are looking for. When we try to compete with the world and be entertainers, you're never going to be as good as the world. And if what you're presenting looks like entertainment, they'll go to Mass, and if the Mass is a show, okay, it's a show, but there's better shows than this. I'm not going to come to this show anymore. Same thing with the Chaldean church. If the Chaldean church is attempting to be something it's not, like the Latin church, I'm going to look, okay, you're looking like the Latin church, but you're not very good at it. I'll just go to the Latin church.
Yeah.
Whereas if you present what's actually yours, what belongs to you, they're going to see that, oh, this is totally different. This is unlike anything. Everybody's telling me I'm a good person, to pat myself on the back, to whatever. Only the church is telling me I need to change. And I know deep down that I need to hear that.
Yeah.
That is why
And
there's
that God
so
loves
much.
you and desires a relationship with you.
And then there's forgiveness.
Yeah.
And then when I make a mistake, I can be accepted again. Whereas the world is like, you make one mistake 12 years ago on Twitter,
Throws you
you're dead.
out. Throws you out.
Yeah.
Canceled.
Yeah.
That's why there's so much wisdom in the law of the church. People at first glance read the Code of Canon Law and say, why is the law being so strict on which particular church I'm able to go to, and how pastors should not encourage people of a different tradition and right to attend their church, and how there's certain protocols of revamping and renewing and reforming a liturgy. It's out of wisdom, because
Absolutely.
they understand, the fathers understand from the Second Vatican Council and a tradition that came before that, understand the uniqueness and the possible problems that could arise from that.
And there's a
Spiritual.
treasure here that really needs to be preserved, because it doesn't only belong to the Chaldean church, it belongs to the church as a whole.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the church as a whole needs to preserve it. And John Paul II talked about how the East and the Western churches are like the two lungs of the church through which you can breathe. And my experience is unique insofar as I've had both the West and the Eastern now, but there's a new lung that's opened up, and I'm breathing much more deeply.
Nice.
Yeah, I remember you. I think we mentioned that
The
quote
23
one time.
lungs of the church.
Remember? Yeah. You mentioned
Because there's more than just two.
It's not just the Eastern. Church.
It's not there's no such thing. 23.
What's 23? Yeah,
It's the 23 lungs of the church. I'm sure there's an organism that could have that. God bless him. I get what he was saying, but it's very normal. Like from the West, looking, well, there's the vast majority, 90-something% of the Catholic Church is the Latin Church. And then there is the rest of it, but that rest has so much complexity. But if you're not in the weeds, you're not going to notice that.
Yeah.
Our church did the same thing. When a bishop came from Antioch to our first synod in 410, we said, "Oh, Antioch." We said, "Oh, we have a delegate from the Church of the West." So we lumped the whole Western Church together as well.
The Roman Empire.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody west of us is the West. So I can't really bash John Paul II or the Latin Rite for lumping the East together when we did that with the West, which is everybody who's not us is the Western Church. You know.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the liturgy and ways that people would be able to distinguish our rite from the Latin rite. What are those things? Like every liturgy has its common things, like you have hymns and you have the homily and the gospel, but what are the things that...
You know why I don't like that question? Because I get that question once in a while. Oh,
Okay.
what's different with the Chaldean Mass? And I say, that's like asking, what's the difference between German and Italian? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's a whole different... Okay, there's nouns, verbs, and other parts of speech. So there's certain commonalities, like you said, but Chaldeans are not Latin Catholics that sing La Chumara. You can't just staple a bunch. It's a internal organic thing.
I said, would it be? I mean, you're the expert here, so I'm only asking out of ignorance. But I wonder if we could say that certain rites within the church are have an emphasis on a certain aspect of the mystery that would be common to all. So whereas maybe the Roman rite, especially in its classical expression, is very much focused on the notion of sacrifice, the sacrifice being offered, and that's certainly present also in the Chaldean Mass. But what definitely exists in the Chaldean Mass that doesn't exist in the Roman rite is that there isn't as much of an offertory, it doesn't seem, but the emphasis on the rite of the signing and breaking is very, very strong. Which to me places the emphasis more on the resurrected Lord, because it's the reunion of the species in that regard.
So that's good, because I wouldn't notice the things that you're noticing from your perspective. So I would say it this way, just to account for for the thing that you're noticing. Because the reason why, the cause of the fact that we have an emphasis on the breaking and signing rite is not because the breaking and signing rite itself is important. It's because the 4 verbs that are mentioned in the Last Supper, Jesus took bread, blessed it, broke it, and gave it.
Yeah.
One of those verbs is broke. And so because the Chaldean Church and the Church of the East tradition in general, the Assyrian churches all focus so much on the Gospels and the text there in a very kind of intense way, well, that's one of the 4 things Jesus did. Let's make this in a way kind of balanced with all the other verbs. So we have the offertory from the Onitha, of the mysteries, until the beginning of the anaphora, to the blessing. And then Jesus blessed the anaphoras there, like in every church. But with the breaking rite in the Latin church is a fairly simple ceremony.
Very simple.
During the Agnus Dei, he just breaks
He breaks a particle and puts it in.
Particle and
so
places
it's,
it in
so
the
it's
host.
present there, but in the tradition of the Church of the East, that's one of the 4 things Jesus did, and we know it. So we want to make that sort of balanced with the others. And then Jesus gave with the whole rite of communion. So that's, I think, an account for why you're noticing it, like, oh, this seems really prominent. I don't know if we have more of an emphasis on the resurrected Lord.
With at least when we had orientation, that was
To the east, towards
to
the cross.
east. Yeah. you would see the priests walk around the altar for the breaking and signing.
It would go to the other side.
Yeah, and
okay.
that was the the liturgy is so beautiful where it kind of illustrates in one's mind that the priest is there facing east, facing the cross on Golgotha. Remember, we're celebrating the passion, death, burial, and resurrection. So it goes from an altar to a banquet. When he comes around and you see the unity
lovely.
with the body and blood of Christ. And then everyone receives it after that. And that's one of the reasons, you could correct me if I'm wrong, Father Andy, but we started to implement when we're giving the Eucharist the white cloth to resemble the shroud.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
So that cloth is a sort of, either it literally is, or it's something similar to the altar cloth, which is the burial, which represents the burial cloth.
Yeah.
And that's what's there under the body of Christ when people are receiving communion.
And there's a reference in the liturgy also to the altar representing the Lord's tomb, where the resurrection actually occurs.
Yep.
Yeah, there was even this thing that I remember Bishop Sedhead, God rest his soul, every time he would bow in the sanctuary to the altar, I think I'm gonna try to get it right, and you probably know the words he used to say. He says, "Posh bishlama madabhad Maria, posh bishlama qorid maran." So
Do you get that from the Maronites?
Madhibham Hasyana.
Hasyana.
Forgiving altar, yeah.
So the forgiving altar, and then he calls it the tomb of our Lord.
Yeah.
I think that's common to the Maronites. I think we may have gotten that. But yeah,
Is it-
so that was, there's a missal, a Chaldean mass book, where that prayer is there at the end, actually printed in the missal.
Oh, really?
And it's kind of a devotional prayer at the very end of Mass as you're leaving. Goodbye altar, the forgiving altar. Goodbye tomb of the Lord. And there's some line about perhaps I may not see you again, and this may have been my last Mass. It's just kind of this devotional prayer. That the priest
I could
would say
hear
about himself.
you saying peace out.
Peace out.
Yeah,
That's like so
like
you.
the same thing,
Peace out.
Yeah.
But these are really cool symbols where our tradition, again, one thing, the Assyrian churches never stopped using that cloth. They always, if you go to, when you go to communion there's always some deacons holding some kind of cloth to make sure, first of all, there's a practical fact to it. You don't want any of the particles of the Eucharist to drop, so the cloth is there to catch them. But it also has the symbol, you're approaching the true body of Christ. This is as his body was wrapped in that linen, this linen is there to protect his body. Oh my gosh.
That's,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So you bring that back, and that's beautiful. The symbolism of the altar veil was amazing. So there's all kinds of cool stuff there. Yeah.
The curtain, you mean?
Yeah, the curtain.
Yeah.
Whether you know it or not, here's the thing. You don't need to be how old were you in 2006?
2006.
You were 15, 16.
I was 14.
14. The people your age, you were a shamasha. I remember Father Dany, by the way, doing petitions in
Come
Gushma.
on. Come on.
And he was 9 years
I've
old.
heard those recordings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on,
So that's how
guys.
deep Father Dany is and his family are in the liturgy. So that's why I love these guys. But
Andrew, do not try to find a recording.
Well, now we have to.
yeah, you should have said that.
Yeah.
But you don't need to have been that deep into things and that educated in the liturgy. You could just be somebody who's attending Mass and you see there's the curtain and it's closed sometimes and then it opens. You kind of get it. It kind of hits you. You don't need to understand the analysis of what this symbol means and what it symbolizes. It's cool. It's a cool thing. Why not do this stuff? And then for some reason, there are self-hating Chaldeans. I've been saying this for 20 years, 30 years. Self-hating Chaldeans that get rid of stuff just because we're the only ones that do it. It's what's wrong with you? Why do you have to be a monkey, imitating everybody else? You can't be yourself.
Love your tradition.
You have to Mickey Mouse everything. Yeah.
Guys,
No, dude.
Sorry,
I remember people at that time. They were saying they're separating Jesus from us.
And then the
Dude,
curtain
I'm like, what
opens.
the heck, dude?
But then the curtain opens
know,
at La
I know.
Humana.
What,
So
during
he has-
Tailet or something?
No, in the beginning of Mass, how
when it
it's
was closed,
closed.
yeah.
How it was closed back in the day.
And then it opens. That's
And
the
then it
whole point, is that
opens.
it opens.
But I mean, the irony is that the vast majority of the church's rites have something similar. It's not that the Chaldean church was unique in having a curtain. The Greeks have an iconostasis.
Yeah.
The Roman church used to have a baldacchino, and there was a curtain hanging from the baldacchino. All the rites had a separation, because separation signifies sacredness. And
But then in 1960, we discovered that God is close to us. And we never knew that before. and we discovered that God is everywhere, and you can face anywhere you want.
Bishop Said used to say, wow, this is a contemporary finding.
Like nobody ever thought of that before. Nobody for thousands of years
Wow, we didn't
thought
know
like,
that.
oh, maybe God is. Like, shut
God
up,
is
dude.
everywhere.
You think you're that much smarter than everybody that came before you? Get out of here, dude.
Well, now they just want to be like,
We're getting
you know,
so
like
much trouble.
like we're talking about. You know, they
Parents,
just
yeah.
want to be like everybody else. You
Whatever,
know?
This
man.
is great.
So, just to go back to what you guys were talking about, the breaking and signing rite and everything, and you know, you kind of summarized it, but I think it's good to just say the general structure of the Chaldean liturgy. It's split up into two parts, right? So the beginning
Every liturgy
is what we
is
call the
correct.
liturgy of the word,
and
right?
Eucharist,
Yep.
So that's where we have Qadisha Lahan La Khumara, the readings, the gospel, and the homily.
And the petitions, technically.
And the petitions,
When you say the
technically.
petitions,
Yeah.
yes, they're part of that.
And then we go into the Qurbana section, right? The anaphora, the liturgy of the Eucharist. And that part is split up into those four verbs.
Yep.
Jesus took, Jesus blessed, Jesus broke, and Jesus gave.
Right, exactly. That's the rest of the Mass.
Yeah.
And then within that, you have other structures. The gospel passage, when you are at the altar and there remember that your brother has something against you, leave your offering at the altar, go be reconciled.
which is
and
why
then
the
return.
sign of peace is where it is.
Exactly.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So for
Yeah.
us, the sign of peace comes later, which also has a theological meaning. But this meaning is also important to
Directly out
emphasize.
of,
It's
out of the
beautiful.
Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Straight out of the
My
Bible.
peace I give you, not as the world gives, right? So, I mean,
Well, actually, so the references to peace in the Chaldean
over, yeah, peace
liturgy
be with us, let
are
us pray,
more
peace be
than
with
any
us.
other liturgy that I've ever
Shlama
attended. And I mean, yeah, Shlama Amman, Shlama Amchon, we're praying for peace and that warring nations stop fighting for each other. It's constantly a reference about which bespeaks the experience of our people, I think, always living in war-torn countries. But they were holding out this hope that the Lord of peace is going to deliver them.
Yeah.
There's a couple of prayers. I mean, one of them is now said by the people, but it used to be a priest prayer, and it's most likely an original part of the anaphora of Dany and Mari. So it's probably one of the oldest parts of liturgy. But the Mshi Hashlamid Alay, O Christ, peace of
those in heaven
those
and
that
those
have-
on earth.
He's named Christ's title is peace. I was like, okay, so when we say Shlam Aman at the beginning of like Ramsha, peace be with us, we're asking Christ to be with us. His name is peace. It's also a way to, I was talking to somebody about this the other day. I think I was talking to Marbawe about it. Shilia, where Shilawa used to be part of the liturgy. Be silent and attent, be silent and quiet, basically. And I think Shlam Aman has a similar function because like Chaldeans and Assyrians talk a lot. Actually, Assyrians are a lot more respectful when it comes to like being, but like Chaldeans talk a lot. And so when you tell them, like, guys, stop talking, we're about to hear the gospel, I think it's needed,
But we don't do that anymore, so.
We should have Shilia Wa Shlau before weddings start.
I know, man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like once they enter the church.
It does strike me, though, as a kind of an interesting, constant plea with God to give us peace, especially for a people like us who tend to be very easily hot under the collar. We lose our temper very quickly, but it's something that we really value.
Somebody asked me a really good question the other day. She asked, like, that same prayer for peace and the Onyatha and stuff like that, we're asking for peace. And she's like, why are we praying this? It never works. Like, there's constant war all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know, like, keep praying. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Imagine where we would be if we weren't.
Yeah,
praying.
exactly. That's kind of what I said. That's exactly what I said. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Maybe we're putting a dent in it or something.
peace.
But my answer was, yeah, we're praying for that, and then we leave and we cause conflicts in our families,
Yeah.
and we get greedy, and so we're praying for one thing, but then we're doing the opposite.
Yeah. One of the things that promotes interior peace is good music, right? Versus music that messes with, that kind of
Evokes passions.
evokes passions and all that stuff. And so sometimes, even like the instruments that we use or that are used in certain churches really evoke those passions. And, not that it's bad to have emotion for your faith or to be sentimental about it, but it doesn't bring peace. And
Right.
the more classical, this is why the church actually, including in Vatican II, there's a document on liturgy.
Musicam sacram is the music of the liturgy. Yeah.
I remember reading that it says the church should not be using like modern instruments.
Not modern. It says instruments that are associated with secular music.
Yeah, and I think it even mentions like the guitar and drum.
No, I don't think it mentions it.
Oh,
But
it
it's
doesn't
clear.
mention them.
No, but it's as late as Pius X. He actually called the piano a clanging percussion instrument.
Clanging cymbal.
The piano.
Piano.
Yeah.
Piano. Not even much less the guitar. Yeah. Yeah. I remember a music director they were interviewing him at Sacred Heart Seminary when I was still there. And as part of the interview, one of the priests said he was one of the best organists in the country. So he's a great organist. And so they said, okay, now, could you play the piano? He said, yeah, sure. He sits at the piano. And he's like, what would you like me to play? And they said, well, play something you would normally play at Mass. And he said, I normally wouldn't play the piano at Mass.
No, and so at least in the Roman Rite, the idea was that it's really only the human voice that can praise the Lord. And the organ was permitted in later years because the organ replicates the human voice, and so far it's air being pushed through pipes.
Yeah.
But when it came to even orchestral
interesting.
masses and things like that, the position of the popes has actually been rather cautious, even about allowing that during the Baroque period. But obviously,
It's gone.
in later years, other things happened.
Yeah. I mean, as a moderate position right now is let's moderate it. We'll make sure it's at least in good taste. If the instruments are so overpowering you can't even hear the voice, that's obviously disproportionate. Which instruments, how much harmony are you going to include in the voices, and so on and so on. These are all like, at least ask these questions. Whereas people, the second you ask them, they get offended. Like, no, at least think about it before you do it. People just do whatever they see somebody else doing. Well, I'm just going to do it. At least think about it. But like, it's mean of me to even have them think about it.
Yeah.
Apparently, like, come on.
To think about the Mass as being more of like a integration of, your whole self. Like it's not just preaching, but actually, even the music at Mass should move you to worship.
Should elevate you.
Yeah.
Which means it has to feel different than a concert feels.
Yes.
Well, yeah. I don't know why my mind just went to this, but sometimes with shamasha with bad voices, like very bad voices, that could be even more distracting than bad music.
Oh yeah.
I'm not. This is not like a shot.
I believe
because not everyone is gifted with
you
a
can
good
make those
voice,
shots.
but sometimes it's just agonizing.
Why not? I heard a rumor. I don't know if this is actually true, but apparently they wouldn't accept people with bad voices into the seminary at all. They're because at the time
You don't have a vocation.
Yeah.
No way.
yeah. Is that funny?
Father, I'm discerning my vocation. Okay,
Okay,
sing
sing.
this. No, I don't think it's
So
for you.
I don't know if that's real. You have to ask older priests if that's true. But again, it's not fair, but if 90% of what the priests were doing back in the day was singing,
chanting.
you just, this job ain't for you, man. You gotta.
No, maybe if he was like absolutely tone deaf and he couldn't get a tone.
I think that's
and
mean.
stuff.
Even that is mean. It's
Yeah,
not
I
just
don't
mean.
know.
It's
Maybe they would.
maybe right now a priest is more than that. Is a lot more than that.
Yeah, for
you know?
sure.
But at the time, maybe that's all a priest was doing. Because everything you do, you're doing a liturgy, and you're going to sing something, and it's going to torture these poor people that haven't listened to you.
So I suppose there's good music that is performed poorly,
Yeah.
and then there's bad music that's performed well,
Yeah.
Yeah. Good
which
point.
I think is actually more insidious because when you find yourself beginning to like bad music, you're in a bad state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to acclimate our tastes to appreciate things that are really bad. I did this when I was in college. I had some friends of mine listen to something from Bach or from Mozart, and they were bored to death by it. And I said, "There's something wrong here, man. That you can't appreciate something that's objectively beautiful."
It says more about you than what you're listening to.
So that's a good challenge because it's people they want the church to submit to their tastes so that they enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's the opposite. It's education. It is your taste has to change. The church is wiser and smarter and has better taste than you.
Yes, I know this from personal experience. In my first year in college, when I went to Thomas Aquinas College, I went in a kid from the culture, not really knowing anything, and my musical repertoire up until that point had been West Coast gangster rap. That's what all of us we were all listening to at the time.
Amen to that, man.
And one of my professors, Dr. John Nieto, was very confused about me because I'm a Catholic and I'm interested in intellectual things and all, but my musical tastes are not in conformity with anything else that I profess to be, and it didn't seem to bother me. So he said, I would just want to challenge you for 3 months, just for 3 months. Give me all of your CDs. We had CDs at the time in binders with sleeves. You remember those? He said, give me all of your CDs and only listen to the music that I give you for the next 3 months. And he gave me Bach and Mozart and Handel and Haydn and Palestrina and Victoria and Gregorian chant. That was it. And so I thought this was amusing, so I only listened to that, which was nice. I enjoyed it. And then after 3 months, he called me back into his office and he said, no, pull out your favorite CD. I think it was like Warren G or something like that. And I played it, and I can't tell you, I felt like my soul was being torn apart. It was.
What was the first song? Regulated?
It was something like that.
Okay.
But I felt really discomforted on the inside, and the ugliness of it became much more apparent to me than it had been before. And so at that point, I broke all my CDs, and I started. Yeah, you probably we're not talking about something that's morally bad, but I think to be educated is not only to learn things, but it's also to develop the taste towards what is objectively beautiful, and music is one of these.
Let me
things.
add to what you're saying, because I went through a similar experience actually in seminary, but I want to add to what you're saying, because people, and there's a kind of culture within the Catholic world of focusing only on one of two things. Either they focus only on the lyrics, and if the lyrics are good or bad, morally, if the lyrics are morally good, then it's good music.
Right.
And if the lyrics are morally bad, then it's bad music. The reason I think that's completely misguided is because just because the lyrics might be good or not offensive, the music itself is going to affect your soul in ways much deeper than the words are.
And the music says something. You can't have words saying one thing and music saying another.
Yeah. Right? So that's one. Or they'll focus on the fact whether it's quote unquote secular music or quote unquote like religious music.
Right.
Just because somebody's religious or professes a religion doesn't mean their music's any good for your soul at all. So the fact, or a kind of counterpart of that is the supposed moral life of the artist producing the music. I mean, again, I guess it's something to think about, but you think that if the person is a good person, that's all you have to think about, and you can listen to this music at all?
And on the other hand, some of the greatest artwork has been produced by people who had some
I don't know what to name
some
that.
questions in their life,
exactly.
in their lives, like Caravaggio, for example.
Yeah. So I think that's just a completely wrong-headed view. Oh, this person voted this way, therefore it's a sin to listen to their music. Mm-hmm. But if they voted the right way, you think it's good? That's not even, you're not even asking the right questions. What is this music doing to you? I always tell people, if reading this book causes you to worship the devil, stop reading that book. Right. If listening to this music causes you to commit a sin, stop listening to it.
Yeah.
Or if it causes your soul agitation, constantly to be frustrated or angry or whatever, or sad or self-pitying, if it's causing that, stop.
Well, I mean, you might not even know it though, like you, right?
No, but it seems to me that there are really, in modern secular music, there are two really prominent passions that are being evoked. It's either anger or it's lust. But most music can be placed into one of those two categories, I think. Just the music by itself, irrespective of the lyrics. Yeah,
the lyrics are a whole other story, right? Yeah.
So, Father, do you like Taylor Swift or...
I actually genuinely think she has 6 or 7 good songs. Yeah. The rest of her songs are just like a copy paste of each other. But like 5 or 6, musically speaking, there's 5 or 6 that are, I think, genuinely good songs. Her lyrics, I don't think I've ever paid attention to her lyrics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't like. I wouldn't consider her a poet, but like, there's a couple of catchy tunes. Yeah, I don't think it's a sin to listen to her, but like, maybe expand your musical taste, like Father is saying.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, when people think about, like we get so many questions. Father, is it a sin to, whatever? I mean, sin is based on the 10 Commandments. And what the Catechism tells us. Certain things might not be good for us.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a moral quality, but the question is, if you're going to consider your consumption of music like the consumption of food, are you eating something that is actually making you healthy and giving you nutrition and making you grow strong, or are you just eating junk food?
Whereas it's not necessarily poison.
It might not be poison, but
in the long run.
But it could be White Castle.
Hey, we're not on the same page anymore.
Yeah,
White Castle is the manna, is the not the manna, the what's the pagan, like the food of the gods?
It's
ambrosia.
Ambrosia, yeah.
It's the ambrosia of the gods. I love White Castle, man.
What about Popeyes?
Well, okay, we were talking about what your last meal would be if you're going to die like that day. And I really couldn't think of anything better than just a big bucket of Popeye's extra crispy chicken. And I think that's the way I want to be executed.
Wow.
It's just eat that until I die.
Till you die.
I have a refined palate. I can appreciate good things and good music and good literature, but there's still like a little bit of a garbage person in me.
Can't.
I can't escape it.
Guilty pleasure.
I don't feel guilty about it. And then once in a while, the rap will be on in my car. I'm like, ooh, that's okay.
When was the last time you had Popeyes?
I try to avoid it now because I try to live a healthy life. I don't know.
Did you eat something healthy yesterday?
Almost all of my meals are protein bars. I wouldn't say it's healthy. Not at all.
It's not good, man.
What do you want me to do?
Eat food.
It's food, in a manner of speaking. I'll have a can of tuna. I'm a simple.
Tuna's great.
Yeah, see?
Tuna's very good.
With
Tuna,
mustard?
high protein, fat, yeah.
Some lemon. Excellent.
Are you making fun of me?
No, it's excellent source of protein.
Excellent source of protein.
Yeah, see? You got to get the protein.
What was your
gotta
last
get the gains.
What was it?
What was the last meal you had?
No, what is the last meal you would have if you were going to die?
Yeah.
Okay. Pacha, probably.
Yeah.
Pacha.
You guys have better taste than I do.
Yeah.
I'm just a garbage.
I'd have a California burrito.
Okay. So
From where?
you're garbage too.
Yeah.
But bleep it out. Bleep it out.
Oh yeah, bleep it out. But thank you for the.
Absolutely.
And yours was what?
You're the one.
Well, I lived in Italy for a number of years, so I've become a bit of a pasta snob. I don't eat pasta in the United States typically because I don't think anybody knows how to cook it. But in Italy, there's nothing like it. And the Norcina in particular, it's wild boar and truffle pasta, which you get in central Italy. It's incredible.
That sounds almost as good as Popeye's chicken.
I don't know. I'm
You guys
not a big
hungry?
fan of truffle. Yeah, I am pretty hungry.
I don't like truffle, man.
We can eat if you guys want.
There's like no tissues.
What do you?
Entire room.
I don't like truffle, bro.
I don't like it.
I don't like mushrooms.
I don't like.
I like
truffle.
mushrooms. I love mushrooms.
Oh, thank you.
Really? But you don't like truffle?
Have you had truffle fresh?
Yeah, I think in that case,
it's too full?
it's even worse. It's too
Okay.
much. Like I
Pungent.
just don't like the flavor.
Yeah,
You know?
they have
It's too strong.
they have pigs that are trained to go and hunt for them in central Italy. It's apparently the pigs
Hunt
can
for
smell
what?
the truffles.
Oh, so the truffle is that a mushroom or something?
They're underground mushrooms. They grow only in particular places where there's a particular climate, and for whatever reason, these pigs know where they are. So the farmers follow the pigs to find them.
Truffle bacon, you know.
And then they put it in the pasta.
Yeah.
And then they kill the boar that found it.
Probably,
Put it in the
yeah.
pasta. Yeah.
Honestly, we should just eat right now.
Bring the food, man.
Yeah, we should just
We're
eat.
made ourselves hungry.
Shout out to Habibi Grill in Santee. And thank you, Alinda, for bringing
Thank you, Linda.
the food
Thank you, Alina.
and your family. God bless you all.
God bless you all.
Father
Begin.
Dany got a special meal.
Yeah. Bro, I'm
Yeah.
going to try it, man.
Add with
Is that okay?
My name on.
Yeah.
You've
is
had
it for?
a
Try
weird.
whatever you want.
Can I
Father
try the
Dany's had a
gyros?
weird month. What happened to your office, man? Let's address the rumors right now.
Oh wow, he's putting a door in.
Yeah.
You were gone.
Look, I was gone. Providentially, I was gone. And a car drove into my office.
And into Father Chris's office.
Yeah.
And he was there, but he didn't get hurt, thank God.
Yeah.
But if you were there, what would have happened to you?
You guys would have been doing my funeral arrangements.
Yeah.
So that means Father Pierre, who invited you on that retreat you were on, saved your life.
Habibi.
You owe him.
We're not allowed to post a picture of that, right? Like,
No.
Why?
I don't know.
It's funny. My only joke, I got this from Instagram.
No, yeah.
I'm like, I told her not to park there.
Well, the upside is that you're getting new furniture.
Yeah, true. True.
Maybe I should run a car into this place so we can finally remodel it.
We are going to remodel soon.
The chicken tikka is really good.
It's
Yeah.
delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The shawarma sandwich is amazing, bro. I love when the bread is crispy like that.
This bowl is great.
Must be nice, bro. Oh, you got hero meat, whatever they call it. Because of your Greek roots.
Is it
By the
gyros
way-
or gyros?
Euro. But if you go to Greece, this does not exist. This is an American thing.
They call it souflaki, right?
Yeah. It's either pork or chicken. There's no such thing
What
as
about
beef.
lamb?
At some places.
It's pork, like what they do with what the Mexicans do with the El Pastor.
Yeah, similar. Yeah.
What's the other thing in there? Chicken shawarma?
Yeah.
Yeah, please, man. I just want to,
He keeps asking about it.
Gotta
Just-
try everything.
he's hinting that he wants some.
Thank you, man.
Have more.
No, it's good. It's good. I have a lot.
When did this show start?
Year and a half, I think.
That's great.
We're like 60 episodes in, I think.
I don't know. I don't watch the show.
Only the ones you're on.
Even that, man. You guys feel weird when you hear your own
I
voice recording?
don't watch them anymore. By the way, I used to after the first couple, but first few.
Sometimes I'll watch it to make sure I
Couple of
didn't say
three.
anything stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or heretical or something.
Even if you did, it's over.
Yeah, I know.
Well, there's a disclaimer. We're allowed to speak heresy if we're not intentionally doing it, right?
Oh, yeah?
It's called material heresy.
Okay, good.
Okay.
No.
Material heresy is forgivable.
As long as I'm not a formal heretic.
As long as it's not.
The hummus is bomb.
Is it?
Yeah, it's very, very good.
It looks thick.
Was there good, like Middle Eastern food in St. Louis? Not really, right?
No, there aren't any Iraqis in St. Louis. We had a couple of good Turkish restaurants.
And there's some Lebanese
and
people.
there
I
are
think they have a
Lebanese people
diocese
out
there.
there. Yeah,
I mean, the diocese is based there.
They have a co-cathedral. The
Co-cathedral.
diocese is in Los Angeles, but their previous bishop had been from St. Louis, so he built the cathedral on that side because he wanted to stay home.
Nice.
But I think the present bishop is back in Los Angeles. But
Gregory?
yeah, we had Lebanese food, but
No, Gregory is.
we
New
have
York.
different spices in our food that the Lebanese have in theirs.
Yeah.
But I love za'atar.
That is great.
Yeah,
That was amazing.
Za'atar is
It's my
so
favorite
good,
thing,
bro.
yeah. The problem is that with it is almost every time they use za'atar, they load it with olive oil.
Yeah,
Whatever they're putting it on. It's like you can just use the spice, man. Whatever. Nobody listens to me anyway.
I mean, if you have just the spice with the like yogurt stuff,
Yeah.
you know, the lebne,
Yeah. Yeah.
one of the best things ever.
You want one of those?
Oh no, I have one. Thank you.
They're so generous, it's like they're feeding an army. I guess the monks will eat it.
Yeah, this
Welcome
is
to
how
San
it is.
Diego.
Yeah. Honestly, like we've done 60 plus episodes. Almost every episode we've had a new Chaldean owned restaurant.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
God bless them.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We've doubled up very rarely.
Yeah.
Rarely.
And there's a long list now.
Is there?
Too, yeah.
Yes, man. That's good news.
So thank you for feeding the fathers.
Yeah.
So is your office gonna, you know?
We'll see when they're done rebuilding it.
Man.
But honestly, it helped me realize, well, it forced me to realize how attached I was to some things that I had in my office because
Yeah.
everything got destroyed, you know?
Your diploma's right on that wall, huh?
Everything, yeah.
Man. Could you
So,
could
like-
you salvage any of that? Or is it just all like shredded?
Some, yeah.
Okay. Dude, how did you feel? You're on a retreat, you look at your phone and you see your office like as a
I know, that's crazy,
It
bro.
didn't really hit me. I didn't come to terms with it until a couple days after. Because it's unreal. You know how we use unreal all the time?
Yeah.
Especially for my life, honestly.
I'm just glad nobody got hurt. Even
Yeah.
the lady the person, male or female, we don't know, but even the person that did that, it was a total accident, by the way.
Yeah,
They didn't do
why don't we
anything.
say your name and bleep it? Don't joke.
Yeah, right. Well, what's funny is people are going to hear that and automatically assume, oh, there is anti-Catholic persecution, or it's they're racists or something. No, it was just she thought it wasn't driving, it was in reverse. Gives you that like
Not like the one that happened in Arizona at Holy Family Chaldean
right?
Church. Yeah, that was on purpose.
They drove into the church.
Yeah,
And the guy said he started to see demons and he was going to kill the demons.
I wonder if it worked.
So it was a good deed that he was trying to do.
Poor guy, mental health issues there.
Yeah.
There was an attack today, I think,
Really?
on some church somewhere. I didn't pay attention.
Oh wow.
Becoming commonplace. I don't even pay attention anymore.
Bro,
Sad.
that's
Very sad.
scary, man.
Yeah.
Like the Catholic school that the kids died, bro. That's crazy,
Yep.
bro. Like we have kids at church all the time. Like, wow, man.
Pray for peace, and then actually act that way. Be consistent.
Yeah.
Welcome to Father Fadi.
Thank you.
Good to have
Yeah.
you
Thanks,
back,
man.
It's really good to be here.
Buddha.
So you're gonna do mass soon, right? You've done a daily mass.
I'm celebrating daily mass. I have daily mass today.
Oh,
Every Tuesday.
Sunday soon, right?
Sunday soon. We're working on it.
inshallah. Nice, man. Well,
Peace out.
peace out, everybody. Peace.
Peace.
Push
Push
the
the
Push the
Push the
With the Hamhasiana.